He's gone on to be a best-selling author, and today he's our first speaker. Stand up and help me welcome Mr. Les Brown.
It's simply the best. Tears apart.
Thank you. Whoa. I'm so glad to be here this morning. Let's give C's today and the whole staff a round of applause for making this happen. I asked the question, how many have some major goals you'd like to achieve? I want to ask you another question. How many of you know if you had your life to live over again, you could have done more than what you've done thus far? Raise your hands, please. Now, that proves the point of what we do and what we accomplish in life is only a tip of the iceberg of what's possible for us. So I want you to think about 3 goals this morning. I want you to think about some personal goal that you'd like to achieve. What does that look like? My first personal goal was to buy my mother a home. Mrs. Mamie Brown. I feel like Abraham Lincoln, who said, all that I am and all that I ever hope to be, I owe to my mother. I was born in the poor section of Miami, Florida called Liberty City, an abandoned building on a floor with a twin brother. And when we were 6 weeks of age, we were adopted by Mrs. Mamie Brown. I saw a sign once that said, God took me out of my biological mother's womb and put me in the heart of my adopted mother. Mama was a domestic worker on Miami Beach. We ate the food left over from the families that she cooked for. These were very kind and generous people. They would say, Mamie, whatever food is left over, you can pack it up and take it home to those children that you have adopted. We wore the hand-me-down clothes of the children that Mama kept. If they were too small, Mama would let them out. If they were too large, she would take them in. And my mama could bake, too. My mama could bake a sweet potato pie so good you couldn't eat it with your shoes on. You had to take your shoes off so you could wiggle your toes. And as a little boy walking around those big, beautiful mansions on Miami Beach, I'd say, Mama, she said, what is it, boy? When I become a man, I'm going to buy you a big, beautiful home just like this. How many have somebody special in your life who's been a blessing to you that you'd like to do something for? Raise your hands, please. I want you to think about that person right now. And also, I want you to think about now your financial goal. How much money would you like to earn over the next year or beyond? That will be your financial freedom number. You know, people say money won't make you happy, but everybody want to find out for themselves. Friend of mine, Rita Davenport, say money ain't important, but it's right up there with oxygen. And let me tell you something, fellas, even if you're as homeless as I am, you got some money, women will find something cute on you. Oh, he's got eyelashes like Tom Cruise. I used to be so broke, I walked past the bank and tripped the alarm. Creditors would call the house and I had my children lying. They would answer the phone and say, my daddy say he ain't home. So I want you to think about your financial goal. And I don't want you to limit it. And whatever that financial goal is that you have envisioned, come up with a number. I want you to see it in your mind's eye. My favorite book says, I give you all your eyes can see. I want you to multiply that 100 times. Next thing is I want you to think about not only your personal goal, your financial goal, but your social contribution. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm clear. We live in the greatest country in the world that gives us an opportunity to live a life of contribution. I've found that most people fail in life not because they aim too high and miss. Most people fail in life because they're just like I was for 14 years. They aim too low and hit. I remember seeing the late Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, who wrote The Power of Positive Thinking, and Robert Schull, who talked about possibility thinking, and the #1 motivational speaker on the planet, Zig Ziglar, who wrote See You at the Top. How many like to help people? Raise your hands, please. I love to help people, and my heart would say, I could do that. And then my mind would say, after I would leave there going to my car, Les Brown, you can't do that. You were labeled educable mentally retarded when you were in the 5th grade, put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade. Les Brown, you can't do that. You fail in the 8th grade. Les Brown, you can't do that. You don't have any college training. You never worked for any major corporation. Les Brown, you can't do that. You don't even know who your birth parents are. How many ever thought about something you wanted to do and you talk yourself out of it? Raise your hands, please, if you understand what I'm talking about. There's an old proverb that says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. And so as you think about your goals and dreams, I want to share with you the most important thing is doing what you're doing right now. And that is showing up, engaging in a process that will begin to retrain your thinking. My favorite book says, be ye not conformed to this world, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. I want you to give yourselves a round of applause for showing up to seize the day to make a difference in your life.